Welcome to the Coach Barnabas podcast. It's time to take a few minutes and leave behind the stuff that drains us and recharge our batteries with some encouragement and insight. Finding the extraordinary in the ordinary.
Hi, welcome to episode 33 of Coach Barnabas. My name's Corey. Thanks for joining me today. Honestly, this is probably a little bit of a departure from what I normally would talk about. But it's just, here it is. As I record this, it's Wednesday, October 9th. And as I record this, I've been glued to the Weather Channel watching Hurricane Milton as it's making its way to Florida. They're feeling the effects. And I don't know about you, but I have family members and friends, coworkers who are all over Florida. And some are just genuinely afraid. They're scared. They're definitely, right now is where I am. We're experiencing peace weather-wise. It's a beautiful day out. It's just it's almost like survivor's guilt. I don't know if you've heard of that, where say for somebody who experienced a traumatic episode that may have cost a life. Maybe it was a motor vehicle accident, a car accident, or some other traumatic event in which people may have died and somebody else walked away, and they have this sense of guilt for having survived when somebody else lost their life. To some extent, I almost feel that in that, I'm sitting here and it's beautiful outside and it's nice. Meanwhile, at this very moment, people have already lost power. Again, people I speak with routinely on a day-to-day basis are legitimately afraid, fearful, that their home is going to be destroyed, that they may suffer, injuries or worse. Flooding, you name it. And it just, it breaks my heart, to be honest with you. It just breaks my heart. And I just was thinking, I try to encourage them, tell them we're going to pray for them. And we absolutely are. That is without question. But there is a sense of helplessness, because we as a human, you want to do something tangible. And of course, there's nothing more tangible and more powerful than prayer. But it doesn't always satisfy the human condition that wants to do something with your hands. You want to do something tangible. You want to be able to hug people. You want to be able to bring them into your home to shelter them and keep them safe. And certainly with family members we have down there, I wish we could just have gone down there, scooped them up, and brought them home and returned them safely, no matter what condition their home's in, knowing that they're safe. Homes, as awful as it would be to have to replace it or rebuild it, homes are replaceable in some way, shape, or form. Human lives and animal lives are not. So, it's like, here we are, 1,000+ miles away, and there's just little to nothing we can do on a tangible basis, despite our human desire and aching to want to do so. And so here I am. I'm kind of self-medicating talking to you, which isn't a bad thing, I hope. And maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you're watching this, you're listening to this and saying, yeah, I know that feeling. Or maybe you're just like, okay, this is boring, click. I don't know. But, there's just that time. And I think about the mysteries of God. Why do these things happen? And some people will get, they have their theories and they think they know all the answers, and maybe they're spot on. Maybe there's percentages of their theories and thoughts that are on the money and correct, and things that are not. Maybe they're 100% wrong. I don't know. Again, these are the mysteries of God. And we may not know the answers on this side of life as to why these things happen. And, devastation and all that. Again, I've mentioned before, just a couple episodes ago, I think it was number 31, I was talking about the earthquake from 1989 that I lived through, although we did get a little bit of a shaking where I lived. I was about an hour north of San Francisco, which took a beating, as well as other parts of Northern California. So hurricanes happen, tornadoes happen, and I live in the Northeast. We get a lot of snow. We get some major storms from time to time. These things just happen, and we call them, the insurance companies and everything, we call them acts of God, because anyway. The thing is like, why did these things happen? And I don't have answers for you, but they do. And we can go back and biblically and trace it and say, well, it's sin, and it's all we brought this on ourselves in a lot of ways. And sure. You could say it's God's judgment. Some would say that. Some would say a lot of different things. And, I'm not here to try to figure all that out. I don't think that's really important to figure out, because it doesn't change anything. All we can do is pursue God and look to Him, seek Him, and ask Him to do a work in our hearts. To, for those of us who are able, is to reach out to our neighbors, whether we know them or not, and offer them a helping hand, offer them support, offer them anything that we can do for them. But of course, no matter where you are, we can pray for people. And it hits anytime there's something, let's just say, controversial that happens in the news, where the common response and the sincere response is that, you're in our thoughts and prayers, and that gets criticized because a lot of people who don't believe in God or think that's pointless and useless, they like to jump all over that. But you know what? I still believe, and I'm not going to be shouted down by the crowd because they don't believe. Their unbelief is not a factor in my belief, in my faith. And my wife and I just did our devotions a short while ago, and one of the verses that came up in our devotion time was that the testing of our faith produces patience, and that can take on a lot of different aspects, because patience is a difficult thing, and the testing of our faith certainly is going to cause us. It's an absolute necessity to rely on your faith, to stand on your faith, to dig into your faith when things aren't happening the way you want them, in the timing in which you want them to happen, and or things happen that we just don't want to have happen, like hurricanes devastating, a significant part of our population and people we love, or people we've never met before. Just seeing, the devastation and everything. So this is just one of those times where this is a mystery of God. No matter how you slice it, His reasons are His own. Does He allow these things? Does He cause these things? That's not what this topic is about. It's just about, it's about no matter what storms come. We talked about this a couple episodes ago when we talked about Job. He lost everything of meaning and value, everything that he worked for, everything that he dedicated his life to on a human level, was wiped out and lost almost simultaneously, pretty much simultaneously. But his spiritual, his supernatural relationship that he had with God, his vertical relationship, was something he absolutely dug into all the more. And, I keep going back to that because, we face these things, we face troubles in our lives. And even though I'm not facing it directly, my heart feels it, for my friends and families and family members and people I don't even know. I'm just kind of aching right now for them, and be praying for them through the night, through the rest of the week. So I just wanted to kind of to meet with you, and maybe there's some sense of solidarity because maybe you're feeling the same way. Your heart's broken, or you have friends and family members, coworkers, whomever, who are at this moment afraid. Whether or not they believe, it's human nature to be afraid. It's scary, so I just I hope you find something in this of value, and just a source of encouragement in that when these things happen, whether it's affecting you directly and the storm is bearing down on you, and that storm can be literal or it can be metaphorical. If the storm is bearing down on you, is to dig into your faith, dig into your trust in God, because He's faithful. He is undefeated. He's incapable of being defeated. He's incapable of being wrong. He's incapable of being unfaithful. He's incapable of the things that we come to expect from humans. They fall short, even with best intentions. We're going to get disappointed from time to time, even from the closest among us, the people we love and trust the most. They're just gonna disappoint us at some point, whether they mean to or not. It's intentional or unintentional. It just, people can't always meet our needs or our hopes or our expectations. And God is one who surpasses our needs, our wants, and our expectations. And He's always there to provide for us. He's there to help us. He's an ever-present help in time of trouble, right? He's our mighty fortress that we run to, a very safe place that we can run to in times of trouble. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're like me, where it's blue skies and nice outside, and you're hurting, for those who right now are in their basements, or huddling in their bathtub to try and stay safe from this thing, whatever it may be. Or if you, again, whether literally or metaphorically, you're in the eye of the storm, is to just dig in and just trust God. We don't need to know all the answers. We just need to, sometimes it's like God wants us to come, it says in the Bible, just come to Him as little children who, children have all the why, but ultimately they know mom and dad are there for them. When they think there's a monster in their room, they come running into mom and dad's room and jump on the bed and just want to be safe. And it's no different with God, even though we're adults. That God just wants us to run to Him and find safety and comfort and peace in His arms. And so that's just my word of encouragement, such as it is, because I'm not coming to you bringing you answers or anything like that, except to just hopefully encourage you to trust Him and to not base your trust and faith based on external circumstances. And are they going the way you want them to go? Do you have the answers? Do you know why this is happening? You may not. You may never know. But what you can count on is that God is faithful. And even if the end result of this isn't perfect, that He's still God. We can still trust Him. He's still worthy. Even if we don't understand it, even if it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. And maybe it'll turn out better than we expect. I don't know. We won't know. All right? But just continue to press in, lean into Him, and just say, God, I'm scared. It's okay. It's okay. Even if you're mad. There were times when, throughout the Bible, you can find stories of people who were just mad at God, and He understands, but He wants you to come to Him with your passion, with your heart, with whatever you have to give it to Him. Come unto me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That's His word. You can count on it. You can bank on it. So that's my encouragement for you today, folks. So God bless you. Be encouraged. Be an encourager. I look forward to talking to you soon. Prayers to those, for those in Florida, and for those of you who are going through your own storm. of one form or another. I'm praying for you as well. God bless you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.
Thank you for joining the Coach Barnabas podcast. We'd greatly appreciate your support by liking and subscribing to the podcast and setting up notifications so we can let you know when new episodes are available. We'd love to hear from you, so please leave a comment. Make a difference today.